I host a radio show on KTSA, and we talk about politics a lot. Anybody heard of the radio show, KTSA? So we talk about politics. We talk to politicians on the left, on the right, Republicans, Democrats, and independents. And I got to tell you, in the entire spectrum, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican or an independent, I have never seen more of a truth teller than Ron Paul. Because they have all their focus groups, they have all their speaking points, they have all their staff telling them what to say, what's the right thing to say, and Ron Paul is speaking from his heart and from the United States Constitution. And I think that's he wants to bring our troops home. As you know, Ron Paul did not vote for the Patriot Act. And he has never voted for a tax increase and wants to abolish the IRS. He is a doctor, he is a Texan, he is a congressman, he is your next president of the Welcome to the revolution. We're getting new people every single day. It's very delightful, and I thank you for coming, and thank you for encouraging me. This is very nice. Before I get started, I would like to introduce a few people. There are a few. First, I'd like my wife to stand up, wherever she is. Grandparents of 18, and we have one great-grandson. A lot of them are here tonight. 4 of our children out of 5 are here, and many of their children, but I'm not going to introduce them all. I'd like them all to stand up if they would. Name every one of them, but my wife can give us their birthdays as well. I can't do that. But it is a real delight. I would like to introduce one other person that's just taken a much more active role in the campaign, and that's Jean McIver. Where's Jean? There she is. Okay. Texas field coordinator, and she has worked for me for a few years. I think it was about 1985 that she's been with me. She works closely with Mark Elam, who will be taking a very active role in the Texas part of the campaign. You know, there was a time when we first started that I had no idea what would happen in the campaign. I didn't know whether there were 10 of you out there, or 100, or 1,000, or what. We're finding out there's a tremendous number. The original intent was to find out how alive and well the freedom movement was by entering this campaign, and I tell people, quite frankly, it was with a great deal of reluctance on my part, not understanding clearly how many people there would be that are interested in the freedom movement and how receptive the new people would be. Well, I can report to you that the results have been very, very good. cautiously, like I usually do, and in a conservative manner. So we picked out 2, 3, 4, and then went to 5 states, all the small states and all the early states, to see what kind of an impact. Because if you go into the large states, California, New York, and Florida, and in a way, at the beginning, it was uncomfortable because Texas, you know, is a big state. And so we had to be a little bit cautious. But since that time, things have gone so well that we now can no longer back off with any less than wild enthusiasm for working here in Texas as well. Vote at the end of August, and that'll be in Fort Worth, and we're going to be working very hard to use all your work and effort. And it seems like every weekend there's another event, another major event. We have this one here. My wife and I got in from Washington last night at 12:30. Of course, we drove over today, but there will be more activity next week. We have had a long time planned family reunion back in my home state in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which will be next weekend. And after the campaign started, once again, I was cautious about predicting what would happen. So we thought we could have a little get-together before the reunion and have 50 or 100 of our friends that might be interested in the campaign. Well, that's changed a bit. And now there will be an event next Friday in Pittsburgh, and that will be closely associated with the reunion. But we expect to have a very, very large crowd in the Pittsburgh area. But the following day, when we are in the middle of a family reunion, I will be leaving because it's very important, because there will be a debate Sunday morning with Stephanopoulos on national TV. It seems I'll send that message to you. Should be nice to us. And besides, you know, since that time that we talked on the last time he had me on, I did get a call from our friend from Arizona that's also running for the presidency. And he wanted to know if I'd loan him some money. We will go there, and then for several days after that, I will be staying in Iowa because that will be in Des Moines, and we will be working because within the next week will be the straw vote in Des Moines, Iowa, which is pretty important, politically speaking, because although it does not carry the weight of electing delegates, it may be the time when there will be a reshuffling of the field of candidates. And right now, we believe that we can be cautiously optimistic, and I'm probably the most cautious of everyone about it. But, you know, I'm cautious about spending money, my own and yours.